Welcome to another Get Healthy webinar. We have one of our brand partners on here, EMF Gal with EMF Solutions. And today we're talking with Deanna Robinson. And the EMF Gal, she's a certified EMF specialist through EMF Solutions. She's a seasoned professional in the field of EMF assessment and remediation. And she leverages advanced energy tools to bring harmony to homes and enhance well-being by safeguarding against the escalating electromagnetic radiation unleashed by the advent of wireless technology and 5G. And Deanna's mission is to empower individuals to reclaim their health, enabling the body to naturally heal from the pervasive stressors of excessive EMF exposure that have become inescapable and an inescapable part of our modern world. So I've experienced this. I've seen these products out there, but I'm really excited to know how all these products work, all of the different products that you have, because we have a pretty extensive line of different little devices and things like that. So Deanna, we just thank you for being here and welcome you to our webinar. So good to meet you and see your brand.
Great. I'm delighted to be here and sharing this incredible information. It's so timely with all the health practitioners and doctors out there. I've been with the company with EMF Solutions for approximately 4 years. I've worked with several thousand people. I work all over the world, kind of the international EMF gal as well. And today, what I'm going to do as an overview, I want to review the EMF sensitivities that are happening with people. I really feel like this is important as a baseline to know how sensitive people are, because these products are very potent and powerful. And I always have to take a temperature to see where they're at. EMF wise. And then I'm going to go through the science, how our products work, why they're so amazing. And then I'll do a review of all our products and kind of how I work with and doing an assessment. So I think I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to take you over to emfgal.com, my website. Okay, so I'm going to go right here to my homepage, and I'm going to scroll down. First of all, many people are aware what our EMFs, of course, I'm going to talk about the EMF sensitivities in a moment, but of course, the radiation is coming from basically all our modern technology, including solar, and it's gotten worse and more pervasive each year, especially during the pandemic, because they put up a lot of towers, 5G everywhere. And I've noticed in working with people that their EMF sensitivities seem to have increased. So by the way, children and pets are more affected because of their size. And we actually I worked with a couple and their dogs, they had quite a few dogs. The dogs actually went through a little detox. And with our products, people may go through a Hertzheimer effect, because what we're doing is we're creating a different kind of energy. And it's like, sometimes it might exacerbate whatever their underlying conditions are. But speaking of that, so sleep is a really big one for people because of the EMS. It's what it is. It's like a shaking and vibrating. And so people are feeling this disturbance in their body, and it creates, we're not meant to be around these frequencies. They're just not good for us at all. So there's fatigue and concentration. I'm seeing a lot of tinnitus, ringing in the ears. It's been increasing as I've been working with folks. Headaches, of course, dizziness and vertigo. Skin rashes. I just talked to somebody the other day, and it was like they were near a big tower and they got a skin rash all over their body. Some people feel nausea and burning sensation. Some people can't even hold a phone in their hand because of the frequencies are so strong. It's also affecting memory and cognitive problems. And I'm also seeing a lot of people talking about irritability and anxiety and depression and stuff. So it's a big deal here. And with kids, there's a lot of behavior challenges and heart palpitations, very, very common. So all of these are symptoms that people report as I'm doing my intake. Now the long range, of course, and there's, by the way, there's only 10,000 studies showing how bad these EMFs are, but so it's increasing the cancer. It's definitely affecting the immune. It's increasing Alzheimer's and so forth, autism. And whether you feel the symptoms or not, you're still getting DNA damage, based on some science that we have, which I'll be sharing. And of course, there's a lot more people are having trouble making babies because the sperm count's so low. One of the reasons is men might keep their phone in their pocket, right where the reproductive organs are. And so that's also a problem. So that's kind of gives you as a practitioner, it's good to know when you're hearing these different types of complaints. Now, obviously, it could be underlying other conditions that are creating an increase. But this I know for sure. When you have any of these issues, it's just lowering the immune system and it's dropping the energy. And with our products, it actually can increase energy. And often many of these, we don't make any health claims at all. But what I have noticed in working with, a couple thousand folks now is many of the symptoms that people report, they're either diminished, they are lowered, or in some cases they go away. It's really up to the body. These products give the body more energy to heal. And that's what makes these products pretty amazing. So I'm going to go up here to tools, tips, and resources. By the way, should you ever want to look at this website, emfgal.com, right here, how products work is going to be a really excellent summation of some of the things I'm going to be talking about here under tools, tips, and resources. So I'm going to open this up, how EMF Solutions products work. Now there's basically 7 ways. By far, the most important is number 1, the cellular calcium testing that we have done, which we've done in an independent lab. And I'm going to go through that in a moment. But we also do blood microscopy, thermal imaging, mold tests, actigraph, in person, or we have a way to test, by the way, doing muscle testing in person. We have a video on that. And of course, we have tons of testimonies. EMF Gal has quite a bit, and EMF Solutions, the corporate, has tons. I'm going to come back to this one in a moment, but I want to just sneak down here for a moment. All right. So what happened is 10 years ago, Dr. Martin discovered the key discovery. What the heck? Why are people getting so sick with the EMFs? Because all the physicists were saying, oh, it doesn't create direct damage like an X-ray. It's an indirect damage. So Dr. Martin discovered this. What happens? There's a shaking and vibrating in the cells. What it does is it opens up there's little gates or channels that are on our cells. They let in different nutrients, but this particular one, double ion calcium, it creates a positive charge, and it's not good. It leads to free radical damage, DNA damage, and it's very polarizing. So Dr. Martin Paul, God bless him for discovering this, but he didn't have a solution for this. Corey Hillis, the owner of EMF Solutions, by the way, they're based in South Carolina. They started in San Diego, California, which is where I'm at. And I'm going to come back up here and show you this test. So what Dr. Vita did, we had her do an independent test out of in Texas. And what she did is she took 3,000 human cells, both the skin and breast cells. She did a baseline and to test the calcium level here in a no EMF environment. So that this bar graph here represents that first test to see what those levels were. Then what she did, she brought in a Wi-Fi router, and you can see that it doubled in size very quickly. Then she brought in some of our products, and voila, you can see here that the baseline, that's lower than the baseline. This was groundbreaking when we had this test, because then we have scientific independent testing showing how well these products basically harmonize, neutralize the EMFs. Now, two different ways that companies go about remediating. Number one, and the most common, is blocking or shielding, trying to get reduce the EMFs, and it helps. It's not always complete because it's not addressing the root cause. The root cause is, again, the cellular calcium imbalance, and our products are the only, our products have been proven to balance this. So, now there's a summary here that you can read and how Dr. Vita went about it. But I also just want to quickly show you some blood microscopy testing. I did this myself, by the way, when I, about 4 years ago, and I took my phone and I had it next to my head. I did a baseline, same thing. Anyway, it was very similar to this. I used that with our cell phone chip, but this is in front of a smart meter, electric power lines. So the top is basically very normal. That's what we like to see. And the bottom this is not good. It's creating stacking or rouleau. And we also did another one with thermal imaging. Again, the top has our product. This is a 10-minute phone call with our cell phone chip in the phone, no change. And then took the product away, did another 10-minute phone call, and you can see very hot. White is the hottest of all.
And I just want to say, looking at the thermal imaging, because I've seen these images before, and it's what I've always seen is this is the damage that phones, for example, cause after a 10-minute phone call. But I don't normally see a solution like this. So this is really important that you can see a comparison of the product working. So it's really impressive to see. Gives me a lot of hope.
Yay. Well, these products have been amazing. Having worked with so many people, I've had people say, these products have saved my life.
Yeah.
Some people haven't been able to function. I mean, seriously bad. And they might go through a detox first if they have a lot of underlying conditions. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, so it is wonderful to have products that, pretty much we cover everything. And I'm going to go through that in a minute. I know we have a little bit of time here. We've done the same thing with mold, putting right next to a Wi-Fi router with and without a product. This is without a product next to a Wi-Fi router, and this was without it, with a better disease. Anyway, there's a lot. There's Accugraph basically with one of our products. I'm wearing one right now. This is actually really good for the body. It increases the 12 organ points. It has a more vibrancy of like around 36%. So it's really lovely to know that as you're wearing something, it's actually doing some good stuff. And of course, we have tons of testimonies. This was a chiropractor out of San Diego who his son had 3 months of upper respiratory problems and phlegm issues. And with our products, while it cleaned it up, that was pretty dramatic. It doesn't always happen like that, but anyway, it's pretty wonderful. Just in the interest of time, because I could go on forever about the science, I'm going to go over here, shop EMF products, because I want to show you what the products look like and how they work. So I'm going to just scoot. Now, these are some bundle options, but I'm just going to scoot down here. This first one, that is a home harmonizer, and that goes outside. This is how big it is. And this part goes near the meter, the smart meter or analog meter. Why do we put it there? For our products to be activated, they need to be in the electrical field. And so by putting this, and that's our most potent product, the home harmonizer, By putting it in the electrical field, what it does is it goes through the entire electrical system, top to bottom, and is protecting everything from the outside in, like 5G, your own smart meter or analog meter, if you have one of those, and everybody else's smart meter on the outside. So that's our beginning step. Very, very potent. Now, when people have solar or transformer boxes in their yard or metal roofs, we're going to add a booster box. And a booster box simply is a home harmonizer, but half the size. Now, a room, another way that we're remediating, let's say inside of a bedroom, or if someone is working in an office outside of the home, or if they're traveling, then they can take this room harmonizer in and just plug it in, and it's going to kind of give them like a harmonic space in their home, in their room. So that's a nice little tool. I use that a lot when I'm working in offices or for people that are traveling. Here's another really fun product. This car harmonizer, that's an important one. Why? It has to do with the metal. Metal acts like an antenna, and it draws the EMFs in. So our cars have a lot of metal and, of course, a lot of electronics. So we just plug this into like a little port. You can even charge your phone, which is really wonderful. Better Z's. Now, that is for a bed. A lot of people have box springs, metal frames, or metal coils in the bed. And what happens, once again, just like the car, it's creating you're like an antenna. So while you're trying to sleep and recuperate, the EMFs are coming into your body. So that's why a lot of people have bad sleep or poor sleep. With our products, some people sleep better, which is kind of nice. This is what we put on the bottom of laptops, these little chips underneath. Now, this little guy here, this device chip, I call it the aspirin because we use it so much. It clips on a power cord with a couple of exceptions. And that goes for like your Wi-Fi router, everything Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that sort of thing, including fans. So that is a very important piece. And what it does is it remediates to about 1 inch. Now, our phones, holy moly, these are so important to remediate. There was a study done in 2004 out of Europe, the reflex study, and comparing direct damage X-rays to indirect damage with phones. It was equivalent, being on your phone is equivalent to having 1,600 chest X-rays a day. So when people wear smartwatches on their body, they are getting tremendous DNA damage, like that thermal image picture that we saw. It's going to look like that. Another thing really important to know, anything that's wireless that is in your ear using the ear pods, anything wireless, is creating cancer. There's an increase of about 40% tumors in brains from wearing all this stuff. So please consider letting your patients know that this is not a good thing. If we could remediate it, we would, but we cannot remediate a smartwatch or any of those devices because there's no place to put our product. Here's a cell phone chip. This is for anything that's an iPhone 12, 13, 14, or above. It goes under your case, and this is just showing it. This is the band for personal protection when you're out and about. These are for kids in different in fun colors. And then these are some cards, the personal card XXL. That's another product that's really lovely. And men like that because they can put it in a wallet. So that kind of gives you a big picture of the products. Candace, do you have any questions about any of those products?
I just am curious, what's one of I see some bestsellers, but do you think that's because people are more like stationary at their laptop? I didn't notice if one of the watch bands were a bestseller, but I would think
it's a bestseller.
Yeah, those are some things that people kind of know if you're wearing it on your body.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not one that's really sensitive. Like, I know sleep with my phone across the room. It probably should be downstairs, but I have my charger on my dresser across versus my nightstand. But just growing up, my mom would always say, get your phone away from your head, get your phone away from your head, talk on speakerphone. So I've had this, beaten into me since I was young, but so I understand it, but I know people that can actually feel a little bit weaker, in their leg, that they wear their phone in, if a man wearing a phone in their pants pocket, or someone who has their watch on. And I've actually seen the muscle testing done, the kinesiology test done, where someone has the phone sitting on their leg as if it's in their pocket, and then you test them, and then you either put a device like this on or you take it away, and their strength goes up. So I know the meaning behind all of this, but again, you would think if it's sitting on your body all day long, or your laptop, if you sit on the couch or sit somewhere where your laptop is actually on your body, you might want to use some protection so that it's not as harmful.
Well, for sure. The level of the EMFs are very, very high. There's a group called bioinitiative.org/conclusions, and they are independent, and they've gathered information from, various resources. What they concluded, that using a measurement called a microwatts per meter squared, they say that the level that doesn't create DNA damage is 10. Our phones are over 2,000.
Yeah.
So 10 compared to 2,000. So even if people don't have a symptom, it's creating DNA damage. Now with
sure.
products, it neutralizes that. So one important point I want to also bring up, people will say, oh, Deanna, can you, if I'm in person, which is not so much these days because I'm so busy, but if we're in person, and we bring our meters and we measure the EMF radiation, all of it's going to be high. It's going to go off the chart. Then when we put the products in place and we take the meter out again and measure it, it's going to be the same, exact same. So we don't really even need meters, because our products do not reduce EMFs. They harmonize EMFs. And that is a huge distinguishing point about EMF Solutions products. So when companies are trying to get the EMFs down, right, and let's say it's 2,000, they get it down to 500, but the level of that doesn't cause harm is 10. You got an issue, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, and by the way, these are earth-based materials. They're based on frequency, so we're working with frequencies, and they have to have a minimum of 700 frequency that Corey Hillis, the owner of EMF Solutions, has done. So everything is handmade, everything is tested to make sure everything is in this range and pass 3 tests in order to, go out into the public. So I just wanted to underscore that.
Yeah. That's amazing. These products are very, versatile. I like the room harmonizer that you can bring with you if you're traveling, or if you're not able to protect your home, if you don't work at home, like you said, an office, that's a great little tool to have in the office, the car. It's like you guys have it all with this brand. So it's really nice to see you've kind of covered all bases.
I know it is really wonderful. It just covers A to Z. The only thing we can't do is the smartwatches and the earbuds. But other than that, we can do pretty much everything.
Yeah. Now, do you recommend, what if someone was, is there anything else in the home that you might think someone could add these devices to, like an alarm clock, a radio, a microwave? I know these aren't specific to those, but could you put maybe a phone chip or a laptop chip on another piece? Or
yes, so this device chip, we use it for a ton of stuff. Like I mentioned, it's our aspirin. So for routers, all the gaming stations, gaming controllers, baby monitor, cordless home phones, all Wi-Fi, printers, smart speakers, Alexa, Google,
Yeah.
Wi-Fi extenders, all fans with rotating because it's creating this shaking and vibrating, that subatomic chaos. It's creating that radiation. So, and by the way, a fan that spins really fast, like a fan that's in a baby's room, you really need to be careful of those. That if it's like a noise machine, if it has other types of, like you can play music on it or sounds of different things, that one's okay. But if it's only fans, very high in radiation for the babies, for the kids. Yep. Yep.
Wow.
We also use the device chip when you have beds that plug in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good solution to that, because I know some people are, concerned with those types of things as well. And if you don't have a designated item, I mean, this device clip seems to be the answer there. So
Yeah, it's amazing how well they work.
mhm.
How many of them that you need though, because there's so, I mean, golly, when you think about, we didn't have this crazy technology like it is now 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember, but 20 years ago, I was investigating EMS way back then, even bought some products way back. And so things have increased so much. But the level of products that are being able to harmonize, like EMF Solutions products, it's a good thing because you can get things taken care of.
Yeah.
And we do have bundles. This little home bundle here is a nice way to start. It comes with the Better Z's for the bed, that device chip, and it just clips right on the power cord. And this goes under the mattress. And of course, we already talked about this home harmonizer. But yeah, those are some bundles too that people can take a look at.
Very cool. I've even already started seeing some of our Get Healthy practitioners put together EMF bundles using this brand, with the phone chip, the watch, Better Z's, I think the laptop, just trying to get people started on something. But I could definitely recommend taking a look at the bundles that you have, just where to get started, what's probably most common and most useful. But
Yeah.
this has been really good information. I really like learning about all the different products. I know we carry all of these on the Get Healthy platform.
Mhm. Yeah, we've been sending out the orders through EMF Gal brand. So
Yeah.
so now
And
we have more awareness for the docs and health practitioners out there.
yeah, we've been on our platform for a few months now, and this is just growing and growing. I know practitioners are aware of the concerns and damage that EMF is causing. So having products like this is really useful, and especially because this is what a lot of patients are asking for. They're noticing these changes in their lives, where they're not sleeping as good in their room as they used to, and feeling more fatigued and not as great after they use their laptop or something like that. So having these products is really awesome. And there's some products in your line that I haven't seen anywhere else. You've seen the phone chips and things like that with other brands out there, but you really have an extensive line, and I think that's awesome. So Deanna, we just thank you for sharing EMF Solutions with us and all of the products that you all have, and especially some of the testing that you showed, the mold growing, what was that, by a router?
With a router, yeah. So this little product, the Better Z's, that was under the Petri dish next to the router, and another one had the Petri dish without the product, and the one that grew the mold was without our product, the Better Z's.
Yeah, that's people are worried about EMFs. Now they have to worry about mold as well. That's pretty nasty. And, people typically have those routers shoved under a TV stand or behind a couch or something, or, in the back corner of an office. So they're normally, in a crumpled up little spot anyway to begin with. But it's really important to be educated on this. So we thank you for all the information that you shared, for sharing this amazing website. So emfgal.com, we can go see more information, review those tests again.
But yeah, there's even a under tools, tips, and resources, there's a little video how to test EMFs properly, and I can definitely help follow up. There's some nuances that are not in the video for practitioners. I'm happy to offer that as well.
Well, we so appreciate it, and thank EMF Solutions for being a brand partner with Get Healthy, and we look forward to continuing to use these on the brand. So thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. I feel so honored. Wonderful to be able to report out to the world and helping people, because it does make a difference in their health.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.